Hello everybody, this is Roland. I got many questions. It was the same question asked many times. How do I manage my own trades on Agimart or on other stuff? How do I go into market? How do I manage a running trade? And the answer is very easy. For this I use my own trade manager, which is called Pip Manager. It is not available at the moment for public, but I'm thinking about to publish it during the year. And I will show you in this quick video how I manage a trade with this. It uses hidden targets and hidden entries and hidden stop losses. And the manager you can see is here with this little M. If I click on this M, it opens the menu of my trade manager. You can see the buttons here. And it shows me I'm in the normal order mode. This means normal stop orders. I'm on the pair pound US dollar. The smallest lot size I can trade is 1 micro lot, and the margin for every micro lot is in this case €2.28. And if I now want to go into a trade, I can plan my trade. For example, I could say I want to go long in this case. I click on my buy button here. Now I get a buy line. It's a hidden order. I can move where I want to go into market. For example, I say I want to go in, say here, and you see it's buy entry inactive. This line gets active as soon as I click on go, but first I want to plan my trade. So we need a stop loss. I click here on my stop loss button. I get a line, and now I can place where I want my stop loss. It's all a hidden order. It's not transmitted to the broker. This is all hidden orders only. You know where your entries and your stop loss. So this is my stop loss. And now you can see here, it calculates automatically the correct lot size. I set my manager this way. It has a lot of settings in it. 2% per trade as risk. You can see the 2 here. This means every trade has a risk of 2%. If the stop loss is hit, I lose 2% of my account balance in this case. And to calculate this, you need a correct lot size, and my manager does this automatically. This means if I use this lot size, if I go in the trade, I will lose 2%, and my risk is around about €53. Why does this change? Because the spread changes, and if spread changes, it has always to recalculate the correct lot size. And you can see, for example, if I put my entry here, now I get a very much bigger difference between stop loss and buy entry. And now the correct lot size would be 0.13 to lose 2% if I go in here and the price will hit a stop loss. To lose 2%, I need here this lot size 0.13 in this case. And the manager calculates always the correct lot size. But we said we want to go in, for example, here, our stop loss is here. And now I want to place my targets. I click here on the target buttons, I get 2 targets. For example, I can say here is my target 2 and here's my target 1. In the settings menu of this manager, I can tell, you can see here, let me see here, how many % of my trade I want to close if the target is hit. In this case, I put a 0 in it. 0 means the trade manager does automatically calculate the correct lot size to close. This works this way, that is a 0 in it means that EA tries to find out what is the best partial close for this trade. Okay, it auto calculates it. For example, if the manager sees the trade was long in negative, and then finally it hits target 1, it will close a bigger part of your trade. If the trade goes right through and all other parameters the manager checks, it will close this here a smaller portion of your trade. But you can, for example, give a fixed number on it. You can say, I want always that, for example, on target 1, 50% of my running positions is closed, and on target 2, 100%, for example. We don't do this at the moment. I want only to show you how I manage these trades. And I have here a BE line. This means a break-even line. I can, for example, say if price reaches this line, the trade is automatically set to break even, and it begins also to trail the trade. And my trailer does not trail always behind the price, because this is very dangerous. You know, price spikes every time up and down, and this is why trailers be hit. Trailer mostly very nice for stop hunting, and this is why you see every time spikes in the price, because the stop hunters want to hit your trailer. My trailer goes behind the price, and then it jumps away from the price. If it thinks now a spike is possible, then it goes back again to the price and jumps back and up and down. So it is not a dumb trailer which always trails behind. It tries to give the trade a little bit room. So now we have one more line we can place. It's a C line. This line tells, for example, if I put it here, if I now would activate this trade setup, which is at the moment inactive because we plan our trade. If we set this trade to active, this means if price first hits this cancel line, this complete setup will be cancelled. This is very helpful, for example, because if we at the moment we want to go long at this case, but imagine the price goes down and the price does not this what you think it should do, and then the complete setup will be cancelled if price first hits the cancel line before it hits the entry line. So now price is a little bit here. We plan our trade now. We say this is what we want, and now we have to wait that we see a trigger in. Now I put it to go, and you can see now inactive is gone. Now this trade is active. Means if the price now hits the green line here, the buy entry, the trade will be opened. And as said, this is all hidden orders. There's nothing transmitted to your broker. It's all saved locally on your PC or computer. And this is how I manage my trades. And I moved the line a little bit lower that we see it at price triggers in here, for example. And you can see now the trade is opened and is running. And now if price hits this break-even line, the trade will set here, or the manager will set a break-even here and begins to trail. And if the target is hit, it will close a part of my trade, and again here. And if the stop loss is hit, the trade will be closed. I can change it every time. I can move the stop loss to here and say, oh, I want to manage it manually too. You can do this in this case. But normally I let the trade run and the manager do its work. And this helps me a lot to manage the trade. And you can see here it shows how many profit you made at the moment and how many pips you are in profit at the moment. And this is very helpful. The manager has some other stuff in it. You can set alerts. If price reaches a line, then it gives an alert on mobile phone or on your computer or on your email. And this is a pin bar mode. This has built in the London Open strategy. It can auto trade the London Open strategy, and it can show you all pin bars. If I click on this button here, it will mark all pin bars. It finds some people like to trade pin bars or double tops with pin bars or double bottoms with pin bars. And if I click on it, it will make arrows in the chart as soon as it finds a pin bar. It does this not backwards. it shows you the pin bars in forward mode. Every time a new pin bar is found. You can see now the trade is running, and this is the way I calculate it. I close the trade at the moment. I will show you at the my second manager. This is for normal trades, for buy and sell stop orders, and I have a limit mode 2. I change my manager for in this case. We have all like in the first version. If I click on it, I get my menu for the limit order mode, and you can see there's much more buttons on it. And this is the limit order mode. Now we get limit orders, pending limit orders. This means, for example, if I make now a sell, this means now if price goes here, it opens a sell trade. A limit order, pending order is placed here. A hidden order again. We can check this out, for example. We say if price hits this, we get a limit or a sell. We can plan our targets as well, T1, T2. And we make our stop loss, say here. And we can check if price hits our green line. And now we go not in a buy trade because we are in a limit order mode. We go in a sell trade if the candle hits this green line. It uses always the bid price and not the ask price, so you know exactly where to place your entries, because if the candle touches these lines, the manager will do its work. Let's see if the candle jumps over the green line and we get a sell opened. Again, it's calculated the correct lot size to get a 2% loss if I hit my stop loss. And you see now it's opened. It's a sell trade running now. And it's the same way like a stop order, but in the opposite way. And you can change the targets where you want to place it during the trade. And this helps a lot to plan trades and stuff like this. And I close this trade. I only want a quick overview because this manager is not available yet. It has an automatically harmonic pattern scan in it. If, for example, if we switch to the H1 time frame, let's see if we can find something here. For example, if I trade harmonic patterns completely different, I traded only the hard rules, because if you trade the hard-based rules, there are no repainting possible of harmonic patterns. Harmonic patterns have a fixed Fib ratio, and if you trade only the fixed ratios, there is no repainting possible. And for this, you need an impulsive leg. To scan for harmonic patterns. You can see this is a very impulsive leg, an impulsive move. And if you see such a move, then we can look for harmonic patterns. And in this case, I expect, because it was going upward, that we can maybe find a buy harmonic pattern in it. I click on the buy. I get this line here and I mark where the move has started. And if I click now on pattern scan, it tries to find a pattern in it and found a pattern, as you can see. This is a bad pattern completed. This means we have here in this case X to A move. This is our impulsive move. For a bad pattern, it must retrace 50%. Then it must again retrace minimum 38%. It does this here. And then the entry was here. And as you can see, in this case, we always would be in the trade. It gave here a little bit 26 pips rejection exactly on the entry line. This trade is already gone. Nothing to do here. Let's delete it. Maybe we find on the other pair example, because this scanner finds the entries hours before harmonic pattern happens. Let's see if we find here. You can see again an impulsive move upwards. Let's see if there is a harmonic in it. I mark this beginning, the lowest point of this up move, and I click on the pattern scan. And again, we have an entry here for a cipher pattern in this case. And as you can see, the entry is painted and there is no repainting. This entry will never move to our place because this used harmonic patterns used fixed ratios. If you trade it the hard way, there is no possibility that this ratio ever changes, because the price must exactly hit these ratio levels, and then the entry will always at this place and never repaints to another place. And the stop loss is painted in. And the best thing on this is, if I want to trade it, I click here on go, and my trade manager automatically places a buy and a stop loss. And if now price comes to this entry, this setup, this cipher pattern will be traded completely automatically. If it's here, price comes to my entry line, the trade will be opened, and the manager will place automatically targets for me where it thinks it's the best place to do it. If I don't want it, I click on delete. Let's see if we find a last example, and then I think you know how I plan my trades. Let's see, that looks not like pattern in it. Normally you can see it. Let's see here, we have a move downward here in this case, but it's the H4. Maybe we find a better one. Maybe we find something here, a sell harmonic in it. This was very impulsive move. Let's scan here. No, he finds nothing here. You can see if the manager does not find a harmonic pattern, it gives the retrace levels in this case where possible bounce is possible. So let's move it to this impulsive leg and see if we here find a pattern in it. Again, this is not the case. And last impulsive move, let's check here if a pattern is in it. Yeah, and we have someone, and it's a very good example. You can see this entry now is calculated hours before the price is on its entry. Because if you trade harmonic patterns the hard way, there are fixed ratios, and as soon as the point C is hit, you know exactly where your entry is. There's no repainting possible, okay? So this means you know this is the entry, and if price does not go further than my C point, as long as this not happened, this entry is valid. If the price goes deeper as my C point, then this setup will be cancelled. And I can now click on my go button, and I get my entry here. You can see it. It painted automatically my sell entry. It automatically painted my stop loss. I can go in my bed now and sleep, and the scanner will automatically trade this pattern as soon as the price hits this entry. And you can see this is a dashed line here. This means this is a setup which is valid but is incompleted, but price has not hit it, so it is tradable. You know this entry hours before it will here on this entry, and maybe we will see this trade. So and you can also active alert. In this case, you get an email as soon as a new pattern was found here. This is my own trade manager. It was developed by me in the last 2 years. It has very, very much other stuff in it, a ball and beer mode, a fib by fib sell. I don't explain it here because this video will be took hours if I explain everything this trade manager can do. Basically, it is made for make hidden orders, hidden stop loss, auto calculates the correct lot size and the correct risk. And as I said, during the day, during the year, I will release this trade manager, I think summer or late summer this year. This trade manager will be available in the limit order and in the normal order mode. It's made for my own trading, and now I'm make some optimizations that this manager is useful for every trader in the world. Okay, so I hope this answers how I manage my own trades. And I open sometimes manually a trade with the MetaTrader, but normally I use this trade manager because I can plan my trades hours or minutes before with all my targets, with all my stop losses, and I know the trade is in good hands. So happy trading. Until next time.